Hi everyone, we are so excited to be bringing you Season 6 next week. What we've done is we've put together a little bit of a trailer of Season 5 for those of you who have just found this podcast, or for our loyal listeners, it gives you a little bit of a taste of what the pod is all about. So enjoy.
Yes. There were moments of just going, shit, I remember what our life was like before kids. Like, I remember why I love you. I remember why I married you now. Like, I haven't felt at one point we were having lunch. Maybe it was the 3 rosés I had. I don't know. But I looked at him and I was like, I actually haven't felt that feeling of just looking at you and going, I love you. I haven't felt like that for so long because I haven't been looking for those moments. And I had tears in my eyes and he's like, oh, that's so nice to hear. And I'm like, oh, God, give me another rosé. It won't last long. I'll be back yelling at you in 2 minutes' time.
Just soak up this moment.
So I think communication is key, and I think if a mum may or may not know that dad is feeling this way, just say, hey, babe, I'm tired. I'm a mess right now. I don't feel like myself. I love you still. I want to get back there. I want to get back to that point where I feel like having sex with you and we're us again, but you need to support me through this phase. When you help out,
all normal parts of life that we have to normalize our kids seeing what a healthy marriage looks like. And a healthy marriage has cracks. Every marriage has cracks. Nothing is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point earlier, growing up in a household like yourself where you may not have seen as much of that, and then it got to a point where your parents parted ways. I want to ask a question around, because this is, I think, one of the biggest fears why people potentially don't leave relationships that aren't healthy. I don't want to see my kids only 50% of the time, or I don't want to be fighting with custody battles, and what if my partner wants a full time? All those sort of things. Talk to us about your experience with that, even personally or just from anecdotally from other people's stories that you've heard.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks sharing custody of your kids. That for me was harder than any part of the divorce. Before I had my second child, it was hard enough because I had this one baby who was the center of my world. I mean, she was young. She was only 2.5 when we separated. When you are used to having a child under your roof every day and then you're sharing time with someone else and you don't see that child, it's terrible. And then when I had my second baby.
But I think, it is the hardest thing you will do, but it is the most rewarding thing you'll do, right? Being a parent. It is, seeing a smile on a little one's face from the smallest things, from seeing a siblings, from looking at the trees, from hearing that they get to go to the park in the afternoon or something, it just makes you appreciate the magic of life. And I think as adults sometimes we miss that. We get caught up in everything else going on in the world and work and stress and just not being present in the moment.
Absolutely.
Create the foundation now. Set the rules. See, Dad, you have 50-50 and it's great. There are so many dads that don't get that. This woman trusts you with the child and you trust her with the child, and it's going to be tricky and there's going to be stuff you don't agree on. But set the tone, set the foundations. What do you want 5-10 years from now? What do you want that to look like? Do you want to go to your son's wedding where you and your ex-wife are sitting on 2 opposite sides and you can't look at each other without feeling anger and resentment? Or do you want to high five and say, well done, we did it, we're done now? Yeah. Do you want your child to be an adult with children that has to have 2 separate Christmas lunches because mum and dad can't be in a room together? And that is realistic for a lot of us. It really is. And that's okay. And if that's the road you're taking, then that's okay too. But you do have the ability now at the age that he's at and how fresh it is to take some control over what you want for the future.
Yeah, I love that.